How's it going, everybody? So in today's video I thought I would talk about something a little bit different. Typically on this channel we're talking about kind of behind the scenes of what it's like to grow a digital marketing agency, some of the tips and tricks of how to do that, and we'll have a heavy focus on personal branding too. So I give you like walkthrough videos, tips and tricks videos, and that's what the bulk of the videos on this channel have been so far. But today I want to share something a little bit different. I want to talk about, I guess, what you would call like productivity, or maybe even biohacking. Is something I've been thinking about recently, and a lot of people post videos here on YouTube about their like morning routines, evening routines. A lot of podcasts I listen to or successful people that I look up to all seem to have a really clear and set routine in place, and that's something that I've been lacking on. It's something I've tried to do a few times in the past but haven't really seen through, and that has all started to change over the last couple of weeks from recording this video. So 2 or 3 weeks ago I watched a video on YouTube. It was a video on Casey Neistat's channel, and he was interviewing Jocko Willink. If you guys haven't heard of him already, you should check him out. But he was interviewing him, and Jocko Willink is this guy that like used to be a Navy SEAL commander. He's written a few books. He gets up every single morning at 4:30 in the morning, and he's like this kind of productivity crazy guy. Like he shared a story on Casey's channel, and for some reason that was like the moment that, watching that was like the moment that things clicked, where I decided, okay, it was time to make a change. And it's something that I've said a few times before, but this time I really feel like I'm actually going through with it, and it's really starting to benefit me. So in today's video I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing for my evening routine, for my morning routine, how it's been over the first couple of weeks, and how I can see this process evolving. So in the interview with Jocko Willink, he talks about why he gets up at 4:30 in the morning. Now 4:30 for me is just too early. So what I did was, on the first day after I watched that video, I decided I was going to get up earlier, and I decided I would get up at 5:30, and that's what I focus on. So I got up at 5:30, I set my alarm at 5:30, and I did a week of getting up at 5:30, and then I've done a week of getting up a little bit later. And we'll talk about how, or like what I do to prepare for that now, and why I've shifted the time a little bit. So what my routine looks like, before even thinking about getting up early in the morning, you have to think about your nighttime routine first, because you can't just like go to bed super late or not prepare the night before and then expect to successfully wake up early in the morning. So this is what I do. Everyone does different things. I'm not saying my way is the right way or the wrong way, and as I said, I'm still learning. This is still evolving. But for me, when I was getting up at 5:30, I've now pushed that to like 5:45 or 6 o'clock. But in order to get up at that time, of course, you need to go to bed earlier. And at first I was aiming for 7 hours of sleep, but now I'm trying to do 8 hours of sleep. So to get up at 6 a.m, I have to go to bed at 10 p.m. So the first thing is thinking about what time you have to go to bed in order to get enough sleep. There's lots of people that say, like, you see lots of these like hustle videos here on YouTube of people sleeping for like 3 or 4 hours. I've tried that, it didn't really work for me. I felt like a zombie the next day. And most people say 7 to 8 hours is like the optimal amount of time of sleep. And I found for me, 7 hours is okay, but the closer I get to 8 hours, the better I'm starting to feel now. So you have to start with thinking about what time it is that you need to go to bed. So for me, that's 10 o'clock. And then I start working backwards from there. I have had this like trouble or problem of constantly being on my phone or being in front of my computer screen, getting my work done and stuff like that. So the first thing I'm trying to do is consciously remove that before bedtime, at least an hour before bedtime. So what I do is, when it gets to 9 o'clock, well, let's talk about what we did before that first. So at about 8 o'clock, I put on these. So these are what's called like blue light blocking glasses. If you guys don't know what these are or don't have a pair, you can just go to Amazon or wherever and pick a pair up pretty quickly. But basically your screens, your computer screen, your phone screen, everything you're looking at emits a lot of blue light, which can inhibit your body from producing the right amount of melatonin, which is one of the chemicals that helps you get to sleep. So 2 hours before bed, at about 8 o'clock, I put these on, because I'll still be looking at my computer screen usually, or at my phone screen at 8 o'clock. So I'll put these on 2 hours before bed. That's kind of when the evening routine starts. Now, I'm lucky enough that here in Estonia, saunas are pretty common and pretty popular, and we have a really nice sauna in my house. So at 8 o'clock, when I put these on, I also go and turn the sauna on, because that takes maybe an hour to warm up and get up to 75, 80 degrees Celsius. So do that, and then I go back to carrying on with whatever it is I'm doing, and that's where the routine begins. And then once it gets to 9 o'clock, I switch off from my computer if I'm working still, so I just unplug everything. And I also put my phone now onto airplane mode, and I set my alarm for the following morning. Now, when I first started this routine 2 weeks ago, I didn't put my phone on airplane mode. I just set the alarm and then went and plugged it in on charge in the bedroom. But I was finding that when I did that, when I woke up the next morning, I was still going on my phone a little bit too much. So that's what happens next. We put my phone on airplane mode, set the alarm, put it in the bedroom, put it on charge. I make sure I put it on charge somewhere where I can't reach it from the bed. I actually physically have to get up and get out of bed in the morning to get my phone. So I put that away at 9 o'clock, and then I have basically an hour before bedtime, and during that hour I don't have my phone, I don't have my computer. The sauna is normally warm by then, so I go and spend some time in the sauna. So I'll do 3 sessions in the sauna. I'll go in, get really warm for maybe 5-10 minutes, come out, cold shower, and then I'll basically repeat that 3 times. It's really good for relaxing me before bed. I feel like now my brain is adjusting and knows that when that happens, it's bedtime, which is really interesting to see. But yeah, it's really good for relaxing, and saunas have loads of other benefits. I know not everybody watching this is gonna have access to a sauna in their own home, so I'm not saying you have to do that, but for me that's something that I really love to do. So I get in the sauna and just chill out for a bit, do 3 sessions, and then by the time that's done and I've showered and I've got ready for bed, brushed my teeth, all that kind of stuff, it's usually 9:45. So then I'll just get into bed and start going to sleep for the evening. So you can see that before having a morning routine in place, it's really important to get the evening routine in place first to enable you to be ready for the next morning. Oh, and one thing I forgot actually is before I go to bed, when I'm done in the sauna, I go and I have this little notebook, and I wasn't doing this at the start of the morning routine, at the start of the evening routine. This is something that I've implemented in the last maybe 3 or 4 days. So I have this little notebook, and before I go to bed, I write down basically a little bit about what's happened today, kind of journaling, but only short. And then I will write the main tasks or the main goals of things that I need to do for tomorrow, so that when I wake up in the morning, I already have a task list and I already know what I'm working on. And that's been really good since I introduced that. So once I've done that, I go to bed. And then in the morning, the alarm goes at 6 o'clock now. When I first started, it was 5:30, but I've been adjusting every so often, because I've found that just trying to work out that perfect balance of the right amount of sleep for me, and when I wake up I still feel energetic. So 6 o'clock now is when I get up, or 5:45. I'm still experimenting between those 2 time frames. And I'll get up and I will go straight into the bathroom, and I already have, this is actually another thing I do the night before, I already have a glass of water that I've filled up, and I keep that in the bathroom. So the first thing I do is drink that, and then I get ready, so I shower. I've made sure as well the night before, I forgot about this too, the night before I put all of my clothes ready for the next day in the bathroom. So I come in, drink the water, I shower, brush my teeth, get ready, put all the clothes on, and then come into the living room and I read a chapter of a book for an hour. Again, this is something not for an hour, I read a chapter of the book, just 1 chapter. And this is something that I've started recently. Right now I'm reading Jocko Willink's book, the guy I mentioned earlier, called Extreme Ownership, which is really good. I'd recommend that if you haven't read that already. So I read a chapter of the book, then I will meditate. This is something that I haven't been doing too much over the last 2 weeks, but it's really important to get into my routine. And I started doing that again this morning of filming this video. So I'll meditate, then I'll go and sit down at my desk. Once I've read my book, once I've meditated, I'll sit down at the desk and I'll pick back up this notebook. I'll open it up and I'll look at the tasks that I set myself the evening before, and I'll just get straight to work and I'll get those done. And I'll usually work through till maybe like 7:30, 8 o'clock, sometimes a bit later, and then I will have breakfast. So that's kind of what the standard bedtime and morning routine is looking like for me. As I said, I've not been doing this for years and years. I've implemented this 2 weeks ago, but already I'm feeling way better in myself. I feel like I have more energy, I'm getting a lot more done, and spending less time, like I'm not just, I don't feel like I'm as addicted to my phone anymore. Like I don't even know where it is right now, which is unusual for me. So that's been really important. And a lot of people exercise within, or have exercise within their morning routine. So I am exercising. We have a personal trainer. I'm going to the gym 4 times a week now, but I don't do that in the morning. I do that in the afternoon to break up the day. So usually about 2 o'clock. So that's me. I would love to hear from you guys, like what your morning or evening routines are, anything that you do that's different from me, any questions that you have for me, please drop them down below in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. As always, I'll come through and answer all of those questions. If you enjoyed this video, if you'd like more videos like this that are focused towards kind of like productivity or well-being or whatever it is that you want to call it, let me know, because I know we've been very focused on those how-to videos and business videos. So if you enjoyed this one, let me know. And if you are new here, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you again next time.